Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about Survivor 41, episode 9. This is getting interesting the way they're mixing it up each episode.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Yes they are. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And please support us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Nerdtainment.
We got a Patreon. You know what? We also got merch, y'all.
Whoa.
Hey, sweater weather!
Sweater weather.
What?
Last time we played that, it was 90 degrees in LA, but now it's a bit cooler. Today, it does actually feel like sweater weather, and I'm ready for that Nerdtainment hoodie.
It's down to like 70.
You need a hoodie at night, kind of a thing.
Right, just a little hoodie at night.
Thank
David,
you
I
very
forgot
much for
to put
this
in your
editing
name.
on the spot, Sarah and David.
What's up, chat? Hi. What
everyone.
a wild episode. I mean, I'm always worried when they tell me we're going to lose two people.
Yeah.
Hello. Nervous.
Yeah, I know.
But then the way they divided them up, you quickly realize who's going to be in trouble. So
I know.
let's start at the top, though, because people are not happy about the way Tribal went down last week.
Oh, it is a mess. Like, everybody's kind of over everybody at first. Like, Heather's trying to talk to anybody, and Deshaun's like, Heather, no. Okay, give me a minute.
I need a minute. Okay.
And Deshaun's like, I'm over Shan. Like, everybody's just kind of over everybody.
Shan's like, I can't with Deshaun anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, Evie's like, please bring on the chaos. I love this. This is great for people at the bottom. But then, sunrise. They're all watching the sunrise together.
It's that thing where you like are fighting with your family and then you just sleep on it. And the next morning you're like, we're good. I
mean, ish.
Right. Because you're still family. So you're never really that good.
You're not, you might still remember and come back for them later.
But Deshaun and Shan are like, come on.
Come on.
Okay.
I really want to know how to speak to you better. I really want to, communicate, blah, 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 blah. Because then quickly Deshaun's like, what else?
Right. Exactly. He's like, And then he's like, Evie. And I'm so confused by this moment, this segment, this whole thing, because last episode coming out of that tribal was the one where Evie, Xander, and Tiffany all wrote down Deshaun's name, and Evie's coming up to Deshaun like, maybe we could work together. And he's like, you just tried to vote me out. Like, no, we're never going to work together. And now we're getting this segment.
And now he's like, I might work with Evie again.
Yeah.
He's like, things are so rocky over here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Evie again. They're like, hey, I'll never write your name down. I'm with you.
Yeah. She's like, I will never write Deshaun down. I'm like, but you did.
It's a relationship that's had quite a journey. It's not an easy road for them. He called her out at a tribal, but sometimes we can look past that and move forward together. Maybe. Sometimes. Well.
Then we get Nasir and Heather, right?
Oh, yes. Nasir and Heather. Well, it just seems like Nasir was like, all right, that was yesterday. Let's put it behind us. And Heather was like, no, I didn't do anything.
I did not write your name. And he's like, oh, you didn't, huh?
Okay.
Pretty sure you were up out of your chair telling everybody to vote for me, Heather.
And then she was like, not even owning that. It was very confusing on what her story was here.
But she didn't actually vote for him.
True.
It was Xander.
And okay, to that strategy.
He's like,
sure,
trying to sow chaos. I mean, I respected that it was intentional because last week I was like, this guy, like, for every good move he makes a move where it's like he is completely and totally out of the loop. And I just kind of thought like, oh, he fell for this Heather thing where she told people to vote for Nasir.
Right.
And he was like, okay, I'll vote for Nasir. But he claims in his confessional here, it was just kind of to sow chaos, keep people on their toes, stir in the pot kind of a thing.
Okay. I don't know if it was necessary after that messy tribal, but it's a choice.
Yeah.
And he's loving this Heather Nasir combo where they're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Then we get some lovely like humanity from a little Ricard segment where he's explaining he's deaf in his right
I forgot,
ear.
honestly.
No, I don't. Yeah, it has
because we knew that,
all.
but
I think we knew that
from preseason. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the way that he sort of just explains that he was concerned or worried about how he was going to be able to play Survivor with this hard of hearing element, and then he realized like he's sitting back and reading those lips, watching the body language and feeling okay about it.
Doing all right. Yeah. He thought he was going to be this big outsider, with this disability. And he's not. He's in the conversations. He's feeling like, okay, I'm in the loop and I understand what's going on and I'm not being left in the dust. So kind of it's a nice segment for him because he hasn't been necessarily painted in like the rosiest light with that. Not that they're like editing him poorly or like as a villain, but he's not like, he's not coming off like lovable Evie kind of a thing.
Right. He's not warm and huggable, right? Yeah. He's very kind of cold and strategic. And this is, he has specific conversations when it's necessary. And then you kind of see him just step back and shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's because he's not hearing everything. I don't know.
Could be.
But he's in it enough that he's been sitting pretty.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a pretty good spot.
He's playing a great game. And I used to say that about Shan. The
messiest messies are like, hey, should we go talk over there in front of Erica and Xander?
It's the four that everybody knows are together, Shan, Liana, Deshawn, and Danny.
Yeah, they're calling them the power group.
Yeah. And then right in front of Xander, I mean, this is Shan's MO, I guess, just to say things in front of people. Remember when in front of Tiffany, she was like, did you get that advantage to Liana? And now right in front of Xander and Erica, she's like, we should go talk without them. Right?
Yes. I was just like, come on, just put forth a smidge of an effort. Just a little effort to hide that you guys are a power group. Ricard does join them, so it is a 5.
Mm-hmm.
But still, Xander and Erica are sitting right there going, Can we do anything?
They're literally like, well, we're sick of that vibe. So do we start to have conversations with the other people here and like try to make something happen with those of us who are on the bottom? Meanwhile, Liana is like, we got to get Xander out. She has been so like tunnel vision on Xander because of the idol that he has and, the extra vote and all the advantages. And Shan is like, Erica's got to go. Like, I don't trust that girl.
I don't trust Erica. At all. I was like, where did this come from?
She doesn't even know Erica.
We like, Erica's not on the show.
She's been gone. She lived on an island alone for 2 days. She
smashed an hourglass and then disappeared again. Like, why is Erica a target all of a sudden?
Well,
I don't know, but it doesn't matter because things are about to mix up.
Y'all. So we go to immunity and reward, and Jeff reveals that there are 2 immunities up for grabs. They're going to split them into 2 groups, and that means there will be 2 tribals and 2 people going home. The reward is beef and chicken stew. And as soon as I saw that Xander and Erica were on different teams, I was like, they're winning immunity. Because with the edit of like, I want Xander, I want Erica out, like setting us up at the top of the episode with these targets, and then they're on separate teams. I was like, well, okay, that's the plan that's going to go out the window because they're winning immunity.
Well, good on you. Because that's exactly what happened. I was too busy going, who's on what team?
Truly.
I wrote down, had to write it down. Erica, Shan, Ricard, Nasir, Heather.
Right.
Group, I think they end up being yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Deshawn, Evie, Liana, Danny, Xander are on the other side. And of course, I'm just like, wow, Deshawn, Danny still together. Like, they cannot be separated.
Well, and how funny is it that like it's also Liana, Xander, and Evie, like all 3, the 3 remaining Yasa. And Liana, not that she's really in the middle, but she's in the middle in the sense that like she's with Deshawn and Danny and was on the original tribe with Evie and Xander. But we all know that, she's really in a tight alliance with Danny and Deshawn here. So I'm like, that is a rough draw for Xander and Evie because those 3 are so tight.
This looked like the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was like watching it and I kept like straightening my back. I was like, oh God, this hurts. This hurts.
And this is where I think people don't think about how much flexibility is important in some of these challenges. Like to have your arms behind you like that, holding on, like the more flexible you are through here, the easier that is, right? And the less likely you are to like cramp up and like lose blood flow and all that stuff. So I really just kept thinking about like, especially those big beefy guys with like big chests. I was like, this is probably really hard for them. And then on top of that, all they can do is balance their heels.
Oh, I know. Perch. Whenever you see that shot of their foot, like just barely on this little perch, it's just so uncomfortable. And that really does hurt if you're just like put your heel on the edge of something and have to stand there.
Cut into your heel, It's tough.
Props to all of the players who have ever had to do these comps.
Yeah.
We see Evie out first, then Heather right behind her. Liana and Shan pretty quickly. Then Danny's out, then Ricard. So we get down to it. I mean, they last a little while, but editing wise, we get right to it. Erica versus Nasir and Deshawn versus Xander.
Right.
And I'm like, girl, Erica, yes, get it. At this point, hello.
I mean, again, I'm like, here we are. Erica and Xander in the final two on each of these sides. And Erica pulls it out over Nasir, but she's still like competing, because Jeff is like, don't drop because she could still win reward for her team, but she drops before either Deshawn and Xander drop. I think maybe because she was like, I don't care about winning, Stu, for all of you people.
For all of you people who were cheering for Nasir this entire time. Not one person did we hear cheered for Erica.
No, certainly not Shan.
Hung on there while Shan was like, let's go, Nasir. Yeah. You got this, Nasir. I would have dropped so quick and been like, you don't get no Stu from me.
I'm not going to like go through torture for any more time for you.
No.
So she drops, which means that this blue team is guaranteed Stu, but it's up to like, is it going to be, Xander or Deshawn? And I noticed before they even, showed us that shot of Liana being like, look at his face. I was like, Xander's smirking while he's on this perch. Like his lips are turning up at the sides. And I'm just like, ooh, he is comfy. He's not going anywhere.
I took that. I mean, I didn't take it as a smirk. I took it as like trying to be focused and stay. Because I think he knows he needs to try to win as much as possible. Yeah. It's not in as good of a spot as Deshawn is. But oh my God, Liana just she cannot handle. Look at his face.
Look at his smug little face.
She is so bothered.
I know.
Over there on the side that he is doing well in this challenge. And then he's going to pull it out for the win. Deshawn is not able to move his hand when Jeff's like, got to go back. And he's like,
well, that was Nasir.
Oh, that was
like, I can't feel my hand. I can't, because he was like Nasir. On the cap.
What was Deshawn doing?
He honestly felt, the way they edited it, Deshawn looked like he was not moving, and they were really going in on like, Xander's quaking, his like feet are shaking and his body's convulsing and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden Deshawn just kind of like comes off. Oh. But it is, I mean, you see they have no control over their bodies.
They're like,
they can barely stand, much less walk towards each other or hug. They literally like throw themselves against each other, and that's like their hug for like job well done, the two of us, They like totally lost.
And then Nasir's like, I still like, I can't.
Right.
Oh my God, I can't imagine what that's like. Right. So we've got your picks, Erica and Xander, safe.
So try again, Shan, and the rest of you. You're going to have to pick different targets, but we've got Erica's group. The yellow group is going to go off to the original UA camp because they've got these separate tribals. So of course they have to like strategize separately.
Right. And then one group is going to get their rewards. So they get the nicer area, but it is, it's just so clear. Like you said, the original plan, Erica, no longer there. But if you take the one plan out, it's obvious who the next plan is going to be on both sides.
True.
So you kind of see where we're headed. Only one side made it interesting.
Yeah, true. We go back to the reward tribe first. Xander is like tearing up eating this stew. He's like, oh my God, this chicken stew is like the most amazing thing.
He's been dreaming about stew? I've never.
Yeah. True, that is a weird dream.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you got out there and you could dream about all
any
the
food.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Right.
Spaghetti. Like pots.
I bet I would dream about carbs, I would imagine.
For sure.
And it's stew?
Candy? Yeah, stew.
Maybe his family makes stew. I don't know. Are there stew people out there?
Yeah, so there's a whole
We're
stew
both vegetarians.
culture.
We don't know.
Yeah. There's probably like a stew talk, like a whole TikTok community dedicated
based on
to stew.
stews.
I don't know.
We don't get it.
So he's ready to like get out a big dog, right? He's like feeling good with this necklace. And he's like, it seems like he wants to go after like a Liana, a Deshawn, a Danny, even though he's kind of had this bump in the road with Evie. He's still like recognizing, like they teased earlier in the episode, that this trio is the power trio. So he's like, how can I break that up? Kind of thing.
This is how you should be thinking at this point. I have immunity. How can I make this work to get out one of these big dogs, even though I know they're kind of working together?
Right.
Another way that you could possibly think is just randomly saying, like, it'd make me feel better if you could give me your idol, Liana.
That was so bold. And Xander looks genuinely stunned that she would have the balls to ask that. Like,
yeah, I love his reaction was perfect because he was like,
you want me to give you the idol? I know that you're going after me. Are you kidding me? That's never happening.
Why? What about this relationship?
Liana was like, I am Shan. I am going to talk him into giving me the idol.
No, you have not built the rapport for that.
No, you've been after him for weeks. Like, no.
That did not work out for you. Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Though. And it's like also, he's been having conversations with Evie about getting Liana out. So he's kind of thinking like, can we pull over Deshawn onto our side to get Liana out? So Liana is certainly the last person. I mean, he's not giving his idol to anybody, but like particularly not Liana in this moment. But she tried. She tried. Yeah.
Okay. Points for trying, I guess.
Yeah.
Hop on to the other group.
Yeah, because this group is like not interesting. We sort of get left with this thought from Danny where it's like, I'm feeling pretty good with our threesome. Like it's going to be Evie, like that's kind of where we leave it with
the blue group. Yes.
Yeah, with the blue group. Right. Then we're on to Shan's group.
Yellow group here though, they're like, this is obvious, right? Like we can't get Erica out, so we're going to vote for Heather, right? Perfect. Shannon is here, signed, sealed, and delivered. They're ready to do it.
It is obvious to Shan that it needs to be Heather because Heather is in Erica's pocket. So if Shan can't have Erica, she will go after Heather. Even though Heather herself poses a threat to virtually no one, right? Like as an individual player, maybe she poses a threat as like the pawn of somebody else, sure. But
in this moment though, because like last tribal, Heather ticked off Shan. And in that moment, Shan was ready to flip against Heather. So I understand watching Shan and Nasir say, let's get out Heather. Makes sense to me. Totally understand that. We see Nasir walk over to Heather and be like, sorry, mama.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to be open and honest with you. It's going to be you. And Erica and Heather are just sitting there like, I don't know what else we can do. Like, would love to make a move, but
would love to get out Shan.
Yeah,
says Erica. But they just don't really see a path to that. You know?
At this point, we're gonna bounce back to the blue group, and this is when Xander, he's come up to Deshawn and Danny, and
with Evie.
Xander has this thing about him where he thinks he can talk to Deshawn and Danny like they're close.
Yeah.
And they were trying to kind of be close, but have they really looped you in, Xander? No, they haven't. But in this moment, Xander's like, yeah, Liana was like either Evie or Deshawn.
And Deshawn's like, wait a minute, what? She's and I feel like he has kind of been hearing this a lot. Like he definitely has heard about Shan throwing out his name. He's just not really sure his status with that whole group. I think he's probably the most likely to flip out of that foursome at this point. And he's making comments like, well, listen, I'm not really interested in being part of Shan's clan. Like, she really feels like she's running this thing. And, I just don't know. I mean, we definitely get them cut to Dan and he's like,
Yeah, his face was like, what is Deshaun saying right now? I mean, Deshaun is saying things that he probably feels, but you also think he's just kind of giving Xander what he thinks Xander wants to hear. Exactly. Right. To the point that Danny's like, oh, I'm not going to say all that now, buddy. Reel it back in. Yeah. Like, I don't know about all that. But he's, Deshaun's giving that vibe that like, yeah, I'm open to you guys. Sure. Why not? Mm-hmm. Let's bounce back to the yellow group because now Ricard has shown up. Okay. Ricard is here to play.
Ricard is baffled why anyone would want to vote Heather.
Same.
Heather?
Ricard, same.
Says Ricard. Heather?
Yeah.
Am I hearing you correctly?
No. Ricard knows she's not in the edit. Ricard is caught on.
She's like, this lady is irrelevant. We are voting out Nasir. And so he goes to Shan. I mean, thank God for Ricard in this moment because he goes and Shan is like, no, it's got to be Heather. And she's doing that Shan thing where she really pushes back super hard. And I love that Ricard is basically like, that is stupid to get out Heather. Nasir is the threat. Like I have not really seen, we've definitely seen Shan and Ricard clash and have their differences, even though they seem to be loyal to each other still. But he's like, no, this time we are not having it your way, Shan. And he's like, give me that extra vote to vote for Nasir. And she's like, I will cast the extra vote. Like, I just love their dynamic. It's fun to watch.
Exactly. Their dynamic is great. There was Chantel in our ratings episode on Monday said something about how Shan needs someone to ground her. And we were talking about like she worked well with Ricard, even if they were button heads. Yeah. They were able to achieve so much together as a duo. We get to merge and it's like, too many people, too many other characters and ways of communicating that I don't think it's working for Shan. Shan's not able to bounce off of them. Putting her and Ricard back together really proved to me that, oh yeah, that is what she needs. She needs somebody to still like go again. Like they don't have to just follow everything that she says. Right. And she will fight you in that moment. Yeah. But that doesn't mean she's never going to budge. She acts like she won't listen to you in that moment, but she is going to listen to you. Yeah. And Ricard just knows how to give her an eye. Yeah, right. And she gives him an eye back. And then they figure it out together.
They do. But there's still a certain level of uncertainty in their relationship where Ricard is like, I just don't know if she's really going to follow through on this plan. Yeah. Like, I hope she does. I think we're in it together. Like she's had my back so far.
Because I think she has to like go take a walk on the beach and like really figure it out. Because she's like, I'll do the vote. And he's like, but this way. And she's like, yeah. We'll see. And then this is when I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I know Ricard doesn't want to leave Shan out because do not cross her.
Do not.
But he didn't need her vote. He could have just jumped over.
True.
With Heather and Erica, and they could have voted out Nasir. He didn't need to get Shan into it. He didn't need the extra vote.
But I think he is with her. There's like a final 2 something going on there, where if he leaves her out of the vote and doesn't clue her in and like get her blessing on this, it's going to blow up, So I think he kind of understands like, I got to bring her along, even if I don't really need her in this moment, because I'm not really ready to jump ship and like hitch my wagon to Erica and Heather. No. I need Shan to come with me on this.
No, but I have to agree. So we're going to leave here not knowing what Shan has decided, which way they're going to go. Right. And I don't want anyone to leave at this point, right? We love everybody. Yeah. But obviously, you take out the person with the idol over the person who's not even in the edit. So like, I was just like, Shan has to be hearing this from Ricard, right?
Right. Well, and Heather has sort of like been told we got to make Nasir feel comfortable so that he doesn't play his idol. We already see some scenes from her at camp where she's like, it's okay, let me go. You know, like she's ready. She's made her peace with this. And then we get to this tribal. This is the first tribal, right? This group,
yes,
the
yellow group.
First of all, Tiffany's already there.
She's already there. She doesn't get a walk-in.
No,
she's
not like welcome the first member of our jury. Tiffany's just waiting there.
Just waiting
perched in a little like gingham yellow shirt,
yes.
You know, looking great. And Ricard is like, you know, let's be honest. Heather's the easy vote here.
Easy vote.
And Heather's like, where is my idol? And then, you know, of course, the giant bug
beetle
attacks Tiffany.
I was like, what does that say? What does that mean? She asked for an idol and a beetle attacked Tiffany. What?
So good, yeah. But I mean, Heather is acting.
She is here for the performance, you guys. Heather was like, I get it. I know my role. And I shall do it.
Yes.
She's like,
I shall look sad.
I am.
Oh. Yeah, she's like hunched over throughout the tribal. She's very sad. And they're all kind of acknowledging like, oh, we love Heather, but she's got to go.
Talk about advantages comes out. Erica's like, you know, Heather and I don't have any. And Jeff had the audacity. To say, how does everybody know about the advantages?
What kind of game are you guys playing that everybody knows? And it's like, y'all made them say these ridiculous phrases.
That's on you, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's literally on you. You guys produced it.
Yeah.
So that this was public information.
Yeah. Right. But Erica's saying, like, we all know where the advantages are, and they are certainly not with Heather or me. But, you know, Heather really is like doubling down on this, like, it's my time to go, Jeff.
It's my time. She gets a whole emotional moment here.
Mm-hmm.
We get to talk about her dream of being on Survivor. She's teary. She's proud of herself. She gets like a full-on package.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I've waited 20 years for this moment.
Who were begging for Heather to be in the edit.
Here she is.
We got 2 solid episodes.
We did. Yep. Oh, boy. But we go to vote after she has like given her swan song, right? Like, this is my goodbye speech, everyone. We go to vote. We see Erica vote for Nasir.
Yes.
Because she's, you know, trying. This is the only thing that I can really, because I thought it might flip on Shan. I'm just waiting for it to flip on Shan.
Wait, Shan's not even at this one.
Yeah, she is. She's with Erica and Heather and Ricard and Nasir.
Just kidding.
Yep.
I am at a different show.
I thought it might flip on her, but
what? You thought it was going to flip on Shan?
Just because like Erica was kind of throwing out, like, I would love to figure out a way to get Shan. And then we saw like Shan and Ricard like this. And I'm just waiting for Shan's game to fully implode.
It is not going to. Yes, I understand. It seems like it's going to, but nobody has the balls to vote for Shan yet.
I guess. Well, Erica, you know, she bails on the Shan, you know, pipe dream. She writes down Nasir. And then we see Nasir vote Heather. Those are the only votes we see. And then we get no idols played because Nasir feels comfortable.
Absolutely. Shan is not in my head because I'm just trying to figure out, did Shan and Ricard decide to flip on Nasir, or are they taking this easy route of getting Heather out?
Yeah.
So what they decided to do was to make it way more complicated than it ever needed to be. And I will never fully understand why this happened unless, here's my one possible theory.
I have one theory as well. And I was so confused at first with how this went down. And I thought that it was a complete waste of an extra vote.
Well, it is a waste of an extra vote. And that's my theory, is that Ricard forced Shan to do a waste of an extra vote. I mean, that's only popping into my head because last week Ricard was like, Sandra, play that idol. So is he just like, I'm going to work with Shan, but I'm going to make her waste her extra vote? There was no need to do it.
There wasn't, but let's talk it out because I have thoughts. So we see, it's kind of great the way it plays out though, because like nobody knows that this extra vote is in play. Well, at least Nasir doesn't. So we see Heather, Nasir, Heather, and normally that's second member of the jury is Heather.
Yeah.
So when we see that, Nasir's like, wait, what? Why isn't it Heather is eliminated? And then Jeff reads Nasir and he's like, 1 vote left. And everyone's like, 1 vote left. And then it's another Nasir. So we're tied 3-3 here.
Yes.
We re-vote. Nasir and Heather can't vote. And it's unanimous. Nasir is gone. Okay. So, and then also that was kind of strange because he didn't announce Nasir is eliminated after the second vote of those 3. Why did he wait until the third vote to say Nasir's
right? So even if there was one more vote,
it just played out kind of weird. The whole thing.
It was so odd.
Nasir joins Tiffany on the jury immediately. Why do you think they played this extra vote? I thought they wanted to. They like played the extra vote this way to guarantee the tie so that they could do the revote and get Nasir out. Mm-hmm. But I guess my thought was, why didn't they just vote Nasir out the gate, save the extra vote? But I guess they were concerned potentially about Nasir playing his idol, and then maybe Nasir wasn't going to vote for Heather, was going to potentially vote for one of them. And then what if one of them goes out with a single vote because Nasir has now played his idol? Does that make sense?
Right. If somebody else was voting for them, is that it? They just didn't trust Erica and Heather to vote Nasir?
No, I think they didn't trust where Nasir's vote was going to land potentially. Because let's say Heather and Erica.
Nasir they didn't trust?
Well, let's say Heather and I guess that's potentially true too. But let's say Heather and Erica voted Nasir and Shan and Ricard voted Nasir. Mm-hmm. But then Nasir plays his idol and he has the deciding vote. Were they nervous? Like, is he really going to vote for Heather or is he potentially going to vote for us? But I guess I hadn't considered maybe they don't trust Erica and Heather to follow through with the plan.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously didn't trust somebody.
Yeah.
Either Ricard tried to burn her extra vote, or they did not trust somebody, whether it's Nasir or whether it's Eric and Heather. I mean, Eric and Heather, it's music to their ears that Ricard came over and said, let's get Nasir out.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to just vote Nasir, but I guess Shan could have been like, no, Heather's still coming for me or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll never turn on Nasir. Let's make sure.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, they played the extra
needless.
vote. They tied it up. I mean, Shan literally voted for Heather and Nasir. Like, it just bonkers didn't make a ton of sense to me. It did not. But they did it, and then they unanimously took Nasir out. And poor Nasir just like doesn't even get to process it. He has to just like sit over on the jury while he's stewing.
Yeah.
While the next group talks about stew.
Oh my God. Hey. Good job there. Good job. We get to the second tribal and Xander is like singing the praises of this stew, but it kind of quickly becomes about, yeah, Jeff, I'm Xander and everybody was kissing my ring now that I got this
I was like,
immunity necklace and everybody wants to work with me. And I'm like, I don't really know if that's
that down a snotch.
True. Yeah.
I mean, they were talking to you and being open with you. This whole thing was just like, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty comfortable. Yeah, I feel pretty good. Like everyone feels like kind of good.
Pretty good. Pretty confident. Because like literally nobody's saying much of anything in the tribal. So I think Jeff was just like, okay, we're going to go around the circle. Do you feel confident? Do you feel confident? Just trying. He's like searching for something, some kind of crack for him to like dig into as a host, right? But everybody is confident and everybody feels good. And Jeff is like, well, somebody's getting lied to. Yeah. And Evie's like, yeah, but it's exciting to play with people who are this good at Survivor. And I'm like, oh, you're not going to be that excited.
Is it?
You're not going to be that excited.
The only thing they could have done was Xander play his idol. And part of me thought he was going to do it.
Oh, God, they lingered on him for so long.
What was I thinking? I should have remembered. He didn't play before. He ain't going to play it now. No. Like, he's saving it for himself, obviously. Yeah. Even though he loves to tell people he might play it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we sit there and he doesn't play it. And I don't know that Evie thought he needed to because you don't hear her really say anything.
I think she thought she had Deshaun, genuinely.
Why did they think that? I guess Deshaun is that good.
Well, and it's probably like someone talked to them for more than 30 seconds and they were like, we got him, right? Because they're so used to being on the outside because Liana has abandoned them and they're just like Yasa on an island. And so they probably thought like, oh, wait a minute. We had a real conversation with Deshaun, a couple of different real ones. Like we got him. We like pulled him onto our side, but no, that alliance, as much as I think the editors are doing their job and the producers are doing their job and trying to like show us some cracks and make it seem like maybe this alliance is not as strong as it seems. I think it is. I think these people have each other's backs.
And I got to remind myself, because I was like, how did Xander and Evie fall for this? But they're not seeing the full edit that we're seeing. And I just forget that sometimes because Evie did have moments with Deshaun. Like they do have history, even though like we talked at the top of this, it's bumpy. It ain't perfect history, but it's enough where she was like, okay, we made a promise. We're not going to write each other's names down. You know, here we are. Xander felt like he was in with the guys and Deshaun was like, yeah, I don't be a part of Shan's army. Yeah. They just bought it. And obviously they don't realize how connected Danny and Deshaun are with Liana.
Yeah. It's just those three are tight, especially like Deshaun kind of has no beef with Liana and Danny. If anybody, he has beef with Shan, but like you couldn't really exploit that in this situation because Shan is on the opposite tribe, you know? So
I mean, there was mention of like Liana is Shan's minion, and I'm glad that they brought that up because that's true. I'm kind of disappointed that Liana has become a minion and just a number for Shan, but if you can't get Shan out, I would have understood going after Liana in this moment, but there was no way that was happening. You would have had to play your idol. And Xander, I don't think they fell for it. They got played. Xander and Evie got played.
Yeah.
And I'm super, super sad to lose Evie.
I know. Evie is gone. And it's a real bummer because she was such a super strong social player. Like it ends up, like I've been saying that I thought Shan was getting this like edit of a strong player who plays well early and then gets voted out early, but it turned out it was going to be Evie. Yeah.
I was really excited to watch the Evie Shan like showdown because I felt like they were both equally strong.
Yeah, socially.
So I'm bummed we won't get that showdown, but Shan seems willing to go after a number of people. So we'll have plenty of showdowns, I guess.
Yes.
Is what we're going to have here. So bye-bye. Evie gets to at least walk out like a normal person. But the preview for next week, hello.
Ricard is in people's sights now because I think they're probably recognizing that Ricard is like in with Shan.
Yes.
And they can't have that, you know, because Ricard could potentially like, you know, nuzzle in there and like maybe crack that alliance of 4 up. So we kind of see Ricard's got to go sooner than later. But then Shan's saying, I am through with Deshaun. So,
well, I mean, I can't trust all these sound bites.
No, and you can't trust these previews. This is like, let me tell you, this is exactly what's not going to happen. Like, neither of those people are going home.
Exactly.
But it's going to make it for good drama.
Especially Shan is great with these sound bites, or at least for the producers, because she will be like, oh my God, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next scene, she's like, look, we got to work together. And you're like, well,
I know.
So for the preview, she can say that she's done with somebody, but I don't buy it whatsoever. But it is what I found interesting is that first off, they realized how strong Shan and Ricard are together, which is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I am more sold on that duo than ever because of this coming back. But then Liana is tearful. She is emotionally telling Shan, Deshaun said Ricard's name. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, is Liana this close to Ricard too? Like, what is this?
I know. It's weird.
I'm fascinated by this. And obviously Ricard is also a strong player.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go down without a fight.
No. And, you know, I think I'm curious to see kind of like how much Shan will do to protect him in this moment and kind of
if it literally is Deshaun versus Ricard, she will be torn. And where does she go with that?
Yeah. But like you say, Shan will just turn her gun on anybody, right? Like she's like, it's you. No, it's you. My brain started to hurt in this episode because there's so much like flipping back and forth.
Yes.
Like they really are. I mean, it's fun, but like trying to keep track of it for purposes of this recap is like a little exhausting sometimes. Like, oh my God, can you guys just shut up and go to tribal and like
just be focused?
Yeah.
Because they all have to go. They all have to go. But they don't all have to go right now at this moment.
Yeah,
just stay the course.
Yeah.
Take your targets
Please.
As they come.
Yes.
And move forward. I mean, yeah, it gets a little, Especially when, people are adamant. It's got to be this person.
Well, it has to.
Calm down. No, it doesn't.
Relax.
There are plenty of other people to choose from.
Just have a conversation. Chill out.
Oh, so sad to see Nasir and Evie go.
Yeah.
Evie was a good sport about it. We barely got to hear Nasir. But I know that that's heartbreaking to leave with an idol.
It really is.
But two people had to go, so
they did.
What are you gonna do?
And it's two of what I would say are maybe the most liked people so far this season, audience wise. Nasir's just been this lovable, tribe focused, favorite of, I think, people in the game and outside of the game. And Evie just played so strong earlier in the game and really had a handle on Yasa and just kind of lost control at the merge.
And how can you not love the provider Nasir? I think they both have huge fan bases. So it is hard to see them go. Gwen, that's a good question. They don't always know. Sometimes people do try to do little hints with the way that they spell or their handwriting. But sometimes you can't. You can't tell who wrote it down. So, and then that's up to the person if they want to be honest or not, you know?
That's right. That's right.
The CAC 16. Thank you so much. That. You guys are the best. Thank you for joining us and hanging out with us. Let's see. Tomorrow is Bachelorette.
Correct.
Monday is ratings. Things will start to get wonky. Next week is Thanksgiving.
The holidays. Bear with us.
Yeah. So schedule over the next couple weeks will be a little different, but Wednesday nights after Survivor, that is sticking. That's happening. Just make sure you get your bell notifications so you can see what changes. I will try to give you a heads up as they come.
Yes.
But so far this week, wrapping up like normal.
That's right. So thank you for joining us live, like Sarah said. If you're joining us later, leave us a comment and let us know what you thought about this double tribal situation and Nasir and Evie going home and what alliances. Help us sort through these alliances. Which ones are for real? And
which ones are going to succeed? And can anyone overthrow anyone else? Or do we see the power players?
Yep.
These are all good questions. Let us know your feelings. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.